Welcome back, everybody. My name is Monaco. We're here again for episode 3 of our Tailgate series, Gating. And this week we are going to work on some Philly style sliders, Philly style sandwiches, depending on how you decide to slice them all up. Mercyhurst is coming to Bobcat Stadium. They're from Pennsylvania, thus inspiring the Philadelphia style sandwiches. We're going to do it a little different, and I'm going to put my spin on it. The guys down at Daniel's gave me this great picanha roast, and what we're going to do, this is a recipe where we need to prep this a little bit ahead of time if you're going to do it this way. We're actually going to do this the night before so that we can have everything prepped to make these sandwiches in enough time for kickoff. So to get this picanha roast going, you can see really great marbling, really great fat cap on top here. And we're going to do this nice low and slow. And this is going to be a version of roast beef when we get done with it. Once it is all finished, we will put it on the smoker and then the meat slicer. And we'll make some really finely shaved sandwich meat that we will then put on the griddle with some veggies and some cheese. Slap that all on some good hoagie style rolls, get them sliced up into portions, and be able to serve a pretty big crowd. So first thing I want to do with this picanha roast, these guys have this thing trimmed up beautifully, but I want to score this fat cap. This fat cap's not going to do us a ton of help when we get on the meat slicer, but it's going to really make this meat very flavorful across the way. So we're just going to go a cross-hatched pattern of scoring right here. Make sure that we get our seasonings down into the meat as deep as possible. And then we're going to smoke it for a good long time until it reaches a nice medium rare, somewhere in that 125 to 130. We'll pull it off, get it nice and cooled down. We'll wrap it, cool it down. Then in the morning, we'll be back, we'll slice it, and then I'll show you how we put these sandwiches together in the Philly style. So don't want to cut all the way down here, but give it a nice little slice, maybe about 1/4 of an inch down through. Then we want to flip this over and then go back, and you'll see when we get done with this, this creates a nice little checkered board section. But what it really allows is that smoke to get really down into the meat that we're looking for, and it allows all of our seasonings to penetrate a little bit deeper. So you can see not too far in there, but we want to be able to get our seasonings down into the meat. So this week we're back with Alpine Touch to give this thing some added smoke flavor. We're gonna go with their hickory smoke all purpose. So this is just like Alpine Touch, the AP rub, but it's just got a little bit of smoke flavor added. We want to be pretty generous with this all the way across. Very big cut of meat. Gonna be tough to get seasonings too far deep. So it's gonna be able to handle a lot, especially on the fat cap side. Secondly, we're going to go down with a brand new bottle of Alpine Touch's garlic pepper. This is a much coarser rub, so will stick and absorb the smoke flavor pretty well. So we can really get a lot of our barky texture. This coarser rub that would go on second. We'll flip it over and do the same thing. Get your rub pressed in, use your cutting board so nothing goes to waste. Make sure that all sides of this are seasoned up and rubbed in nicely. All right, that's looking great. Next step, we'll take it out, get it on the smoker, and get it cooking. Alrighty, so we're out here at the smokers. I have my big smoker fired up to 275 degrees. I'm gonna go fat cap up so that all that fat, as it renders throughout this cook, all of that good fat should drip throughout that entire roast, adding some good flavor. I assume this will take right around an hour. Once that roast gets up to about 125 degrees, we will take it off, and we want to get it cooled down so we can get it in the fridge overnight so it is ready for the slicer. We're back. Our picanha roast is now right around 130, so a little bit into that medium rare, medium range. That's right when we want to be able to pull this thing off. So you can see we got some really great color. We started getting that bark set all the way across this great roast. Now the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap this up and then put it into the fridge overnight. So again, this is something that we probably wanna do on Friday. This thing was in there for a little over an hour, not quite an hour and a half to get up to temp. What we wanna do is be able to get this meat ready for the game tomorrow. So we're going to put this in the fridge, let it cool all the way down. Then we're gonna put it on the deli slicer tomorrow morning. We're gonna shave it razor thin. And then I'll show you guys how we then take that meat. We're gonna mix it up with some veggies and some cheese, put it on some great rolls, make some Philly sliders to be able to serve a whole crowd. So we're gonna wrap this up, throw it in the fridge. Last night, we put this picanha roast in the smoker, got it up to that medium rare temperature, 125, 130, somewhere in there. We put it in the fridge overnight, wrapped up in foil, and then we're gonna get this sliced off. So again, this is the morning before the game. So what I am going to do is just get everything prepped so that all of my ingredients are ready to go to the stadium, and then we can really just put these sandwiches together. We'll get it heated up and ready to rock. But while we're at home, we do have the ability to prep everything that we need for cooking and making these sandwiches at the stadium. So I'm gonna start with my veggies. We'll get the meat slicer out, get this roast all sliced up, and then we'll build some sandwiches. Something that I think will really set these sandwiches apart is if we shred our own cheese. So when looking at best choice of cheese, obviously pick your favorite. For anything Philly cheesesteak, I really enjoy provolone. Provolone's a great melty cheese. When you shred it yourself, really improves what that the ability of that melty cheese kind of looks like. So we'll shred that up and get ready to make these sandwiches. Now we have everything prepped. We're gonna go get that meat sliced up, and then we should be ready to cook them. All right, so we're ready to slice this up. Something that I wanna talk about with this picanha roast, and any roast that you wanna use if you decide to go this method, is we wanna make sure that we're always cutting against the grain when we're making our slices. So in this picanha roast, it's kind of shaped like a heart, so all the grains are running this way. So we wanna make our slices going this way. I have a smaller meat slicer, so I'm just gonna cut this in half to be able to get those nice slices. If this is a step that you guys want to skip, if you go to whatever your favorite deli is and just get some roast beef lunch meat, that's all we're gonna get to creating at the end of this step, and then we can get outside and get to cooking. If you're not smoking your own roast beef like this, man, you're really missing out. This could be great for hunting sandwiches, whether you're doing tailgates, whether you just like prepping some of your own lunch meat. This style, especially this picanha, it's got this little chunk of fat on it that's just incredible. That's gonna just fry up great for what we're doing today. But the smokiness of this, the tenderness of it, it just can't be beat. They're gonna make some great Phillies. The last little chunk of flavor here, and that comes in a jar of sliced peppercini peppers. The last thing we want to do here is just add some of this cheese. We're going to do this quick so we don't make a giant mess of the griddle here. So then this comes down to personal preference. On these bottom buns, I'm just going to give a nice quick shot of horseradish. All right, so we're back inside, got these sandwiches all built together. So a little bit of recap of what we did starting last night was put the picanha roast on the smoker, seasoned it up, with all of the Alpine Touch goodness, and then got it in the fridge, let it cool down. Then we sliced it up along with all of our vegetables, got those out on the Blackstone, got everything all griddled up, married together, threw that freshly shredded cheese on top, toasted our buns, and then created the sandwiches. What's great about these little sliders in this manner is they're very easy to then serve to a crowd. So as somebody walks by or making their plate, they just grab the bottom bun. Everything is nice and shredded up in there, so they come out into little few bite sandwich sizes. So let's see how we did. I don't care what meat you use, you better go get the picanha from Daniel's, because that is incredible. The flavor, that little bit of fattiness from the fat cap, and then the tenderness is just unreal. And then the pepperoncinis, if you guys aren't putting your pepperoncinis on your Phillies. If you don't like pickles, I get it. If not, I think it's something that really sets these sandwiches apart. So good luck keeping this tray full, because they're gonna go fast if you're able to make these. So please help everybody out around Bozeman. Shop down at Daniel's, be able to use some Alpine Touch. Then whip these things up in the parking lot, and we'll see you guys inside the stadium or wherever you are watching the game. So thanks for tuning in. Again this week, eat good, shop local, go Cats.